mornings.
Love the mornings.
With Adam Wylde, TJ, and Jax.
Very fun, isn't it?
Okay, let's go.
Good morning. Woo! Tuesday, September the 29th. Only, is September a 30-day month or a 31-day
30.
month? It's a 30. So we got 2 days left. It's today and tomorrow, and that's it. September's over. Poof, gone.
Spooky season.
I said 30 very confidently for somebody who had no idea.
I saw the fear in your eyes.
Yeah. 30.
We've got the Virgin Radio Moneymaker this morning at 7 o'clock, which gets you $500 instantly, and then it goes all day long. It looks like a pretty nice day for the end of September. 18 degrees, a little bit of rain this morning, some sun this afternoon, and let's check in with the crew. TJ, what's on your mind this morning?
Guys, I fully committed to fall yesterday. I took the really thin blanket off my bed and replaced it with the thick winter duvet.
Ooh.
It's happening.
It was like 28 degrees yesterday.
And that was the day I decided it was time to prepare for winter.
I have a duvet, but I don't have a duvet cover. So I gotta figure that out soon.
Are you back in college?
I know, it's weird.
Are you dropping out again?
Well, like sometimes when you go through a breakup, you lose some stuff, and I don't have that. So now I gotta get it.
I know what I'm doing after the show.
Yeah, going to Winners.
Yeah.
Let's go. Jax?
I'm on a hunt for something else as well, gentlemen. I'm on a hunt for a GT snow racer.
I think I still have mine.
Oh, you better give it to me because, okay, I cannot find one on the internet. So a lot of people getting ready. Yeah, people are getting ready for the winter and for winter hobby. So I was like, all right, mine's going to be GT and down a hill. You can't find a GT online. So
that's going to be your thing?
What's that?
Some people are doing pottery. Some people are learning an instrument, and you're going to ride a toboggan?
Honey, I'm going to become a snow racer.
I'm with you. I'm 100%. I want to come. Jesse.
Have you ever canceled plans just to hang out with your dog?
Yes.
Then you would be just like 72% of people.
Oh.
I thought that number was quite high.
I thought it was too. I looked at that and I was like, I don't know. I like my dogs a lot, but I don't know if I'd cancel plans. Mostly because when you're a dad, it's like, these are the only things that I have to look forward to all week.
Do you think people are using that as an out, though?
Yes.
Like,
1,000%.
Yeah.
Plus, dogs are cuddly and amazing, so I don't blame them. And like a lot of times if you're going out, especially right now, it's sort of like, there's that little bit of
fear.
Am I going to meet some D-bags at the bar? And there's that fear of COVID. You know what I mean? It's sort of like, the dog doesn't have any of that.
True.
So, I get it. So this morning, you're going to hear a little bit of Where's My Money from yesterday. It was over $75. She split a moving truck with her roommate, and he went poof and never heard from her again. Or sorry, she never heard from him again. So she had us call and say, hey, where's that $75 you owe me? His reaction is a bit stunning, too. We'll get into that right now. It's Curtis Waters, Virgin Radio.
Go buses and some trains now have free Wi-Fi. Guys, we're living in 2020.
Oh, man.
Can you imagine?
According to the province, free Wi-Fi is available on all Go buses and half of Go trains across Ontario. The Minister of Transportation, Carolyn Murphy, said this is part of the government's commitment to improve public transit across the province. You know, if you're still not going back to work yet, like you would take the train or you would take the bus in, when you do finally go back, that's going to be a nice little treat to walk into, right? You're probably a little nervous about what you're walking into, and all of a sudden you have free Wi-Fi.
You can watch your shows, your soaps on the train.
Do you think it'll be fast enough to do that? Sometimes with free Wi-Fi, it's like... Yeah, you think so? I don't know, because sometimes like we've worked in places where the free Wi-Fi is like will be pretty slow.
No, guys, I'd like to think it's going to be.
Producer Jesse?
They have free Wi-Fi on the platforms, and it is the worst Wi-Fi in the universe.
Yeah, okay.
So,
Oh, true. I guess, like
So I'm gonna
Subway.
So that's a no.
There's a reason why they don't have it in the subways yet, and it's something to do with like
it's telecoms.
Yeah.
They don't want to do it.
Yeah, exactly. If you've ever been super frustrated with your kids' homework, don't feel bad if you feel a little silly, because if it's past a grade 6 level, you're in good company. A new study of more than 2,000 parents said their knowledge doesn't exceed grade 6, and they can't remember much past elementary, with math and science seemingly the two subjects that give parents the hardest time, which when you think about it, is about the time that my parents fell off the map with the whole help with your homework.
That's when you need a tutor.
Yeah.
Right? That's when they start paying for a tutor.
I thought that was kind of high. Like when I have kids, they're going to be frigged. Like, because I'm gonna be gone.
Especially if
by
you use
grade...
words like that.
Stop it. I'm gonna be gone by like grade 3 because I had a lot of trouble with math.
Yeah, terrible with math too. Same.
Billie Eilish just confirmed that a documentary about her is on the way. It's called Billie Eilish, The World's a Little Blurry, and it's going to premiere in theaters on Apple TV Plus. It's going to premiere on Apple TV Plus in February of 2021, pardon me. She shared a 30-second announcement video, and it doesn't really show much. It's just like her as a kid playing piano, who really knows. She has been followed by a film crew for a while, and apparently this is part of a $25 million deal that she has with Apple.
Love it.
So this wasn't cheap.
Give her all the cash.
You know, it's funny with certain artists, like you look at a guy like, I'm just going to bring this guy up randomly, Flo Rida, who has had multiple top 10 hits, like multiple top 10 hits. No story. He's got no background story. There's nothing about Flo Rida where you're like, wow, like what can you tell me about that person,
He's from
right?
Florida.
But if you look at a guy like Justin Bieber, who has had way less top 10 hits than Flo Rida has, believe it or not, look it up, has a great story. Billie Eilish has a great story, and it gives people an ability to kind of latch onto them. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why she's so popular, and that's why she gets deals like that.
Yeah, true.
You know, if you woke me up this morning and said, hey, the first thing Adam's going to bring up on the show is Flo Rida in comparison to Billie Eilish, I wouldn't have believed you.
I just think it's interesting. The backstory is part of selling the music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just interesting.
Yeah, brother.
Listen, I said something really smart, and you guys are just not.
Smart.
Get on my level at 5:45.
Flo Rida was one of the most awkward interviews I've ever done in my life.
I
Have told you
bet.
that?
I bet.
Really?
That's why we don't know anything about him.
No, it was backstage at Calgary Stampede, and I was waiting in like the other room, and one of his people went in and was like, "Hey, we got the guy from the radio here," and he was like, "Man, I don't want to do any of that," and I was like, "This is gonna go really well," and then it didn't.
Honey.
But I probably caught him on a bad day, or maybe I didn't, and that's what's trending on TJ.
Exactly.
Wow.
I ask you, what do you know about Flo Rida?
Wow.
Probably nothing, and there's probably a reason. Now, 70 minutes from right now, it will be Virgin Radio Moneymaker time. $500 instantly for you. All you have to do is text money, then your name to 99999 right now.
I'm a train wreck. I don't wanna.
With Adam Wylde, TJ, and Jax. On 99.9 Virgin Radio.
So, sort of a big deal if you get contacted about COVID-19, right? If somebody through a contact tracing app or that sort of thing has pointed you out and said, hey, listen, you were exposed to this. This is really important that you look after this. Apparently in England, people have been using this to force their enemies to self-isolate.
Wow.
So if you have the app, and they have, instead of, their health system is the NHS. So if you have the NHS app, you can actually point out people that you were in contact with if you've had COVID. So a lot of people are calling in fake COVID threats because they want people who they don't like to be stuck at home for 14 days or to have to go get a test and just inconvenience them.
That's kind of like, I know that's bad, but that's kind of funny.
It is funny, right?
Yeah. It can be both.
Yeah.
It can be both not okay and also very funny. And like, I consider myself, if I'm being honest, a somewhat petty person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is like
It's next level.
God-tier level pettiness.
Well, and the thing is, it's so bad that they actually had to enact legislation yesterday.
Yeah.
So they actually had to run this through Parliament in the middle of a pandemic. And I'm going to read you the words. Falsely stating that someone is a close contact of a person who has tested positive for coronavirus is now illegal, meaning that people cannot simply name someone that they don't like as a contact. That is the legal wording. And what's interesting about this, it's £1,000. So it's $2,000 if you get caught doing this.
Like, the first thought I would be is people are going to do this to their exes. And like, I mean, would they find out that it was you? Like, would your ex know that it was you?
Yeah, because obviously you're the
but
one
would
that.
your ex know?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because like 2000, like if you've been like saving through COVID, but like you really want to go through it, like throw the $2,000 if the ex doesn't find out. And you know me, like I love all my exes.
We're gonna get this $2,000 to just waste on that.
No, I'm just saying, if you have the money, it's a weird time. Maybe you need to.
I don't know, Jax. I'm surprised at you.
That's shocking.
I got 2 targets right here.
Wow.
I remember we were too broke to have a car.
Trending.
And this is what's trending right now.
More new homes in the GTA sold in August than in any other August ever.
Wow.
This according to the Building Industry and Land Development Association, or BUILD. Last month, 4,539 new builds sold in the area, marking a 217% increase from August of 2019, with numbers 119% higher than the 10-year average. So, yeah, people are buying homes. And condo units only comprise like 5% of these purchases. So, a lot of these single-family, detached and semi-detached homes saw the big jump. up 355% over year over year. Moral of the story, people are buying houses. And a big part of the reason they think this is because everyone was trapped inside their condo for the last few months, and they're like, I don't have enough space.
True.
Yep. So they sought out the space, and they paid a lot of money for it. So the Tampa Bay Lightning won the Stanley Cup last night, which is cool. Yeah, great. Cool. Sports fun. Considering we didn't even think that the season was going to happen.
A lot of GTHA kids on that team, including Captain Steven Stamkos. So that's right.
And former Toronto Maple Leaf Luke Schenn.
Yes.
Here's the funny thing, though. A neighbor in Florida heard his hockey fan neighbors yelling, shoot, and they thought it was a gun thing, so they called the cops.
Oh, for goodness sake.
They heard yells of shoot, shoot, and I dare you to shoot. So they called the cops. 4 cops went to the scene, and it turns out the guy was just watching the Lightning game. Everything went okay. Everyone kind of laughed it off, and the neighbor eventually bought the neighbor who was yelling beer. So
that's cool.
All is well.
Good.
But it's just funny.
It's very funny to hear people in Florida freaked out about guns. How weird is that?
Isn't that bizarre?
On top of being nice about it. Sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. Yeah. And Nuit Blanche is this weekend, so you can watch it from home and get high, I guess.
You guys, stop it. You guys always razz Nuit Blanche, and it's such a nice get together.
When we talked about this the first time, and we said literally Nuit Blanche is just a bunch of people running around Toronto getting high overnight, a bunch of people texted and said, that's me.
Right.
There was like 8 or 9 people instantly.
Right, but there's more. There's so much more.
Like what?
Like art.
I mean,
feelings.
there is great art. There is great art. And they're doing it all digitally?
Yeah, they're doing it all digitally. So they're going to present 5 streams of programming, including talks, podcasts, a release of the 14-year archive called Nuit History, live streams, and artworks in augmented and virtual reality. I think it's a long way of saying, here's everything. Enjoy. That's starting on October 3rd, which I believe is Sunday?
Sounds trippy,
Saturday.
dude.
420 blazing.
Pretty much.
Fine.
A few of the events are going to run until October 12th. And that's what's trending. I'm TJ.
Thank you, TJ. And if you like money, and especially if you like $500 instantly, I would text money and then your name to 99999. Same text, money first, name second, because the Virgin Radio Moneymaker happens at 7 o'clock every morning, giving you $500 instantly on Virgin Mornings.
It's Virgin Mornings with Adam Wylde, TJ, and Jax on 99.9 Virgin Radio.
So there's those times in your life where, and I don't know if this ever really goes away, where you're trying to impress your parents. And there's nothing like getting a little bit of praise from your mom and dad. Just nothing. And you think you've done something really, really cool. And this relates to Billie Eilish. We'll get to that in a second. But you think, man, I've done something, and they're going to be blown away by this. And you show it to them, or you tell them what happened or whatever, and they're like, cool.
Okay, yeah. That's great, honey.
Oh, nice.
Now, if you're a big Billie Eilish fan, you know this song. It's called Ocean Eyes.
Staring at those ocean eyes, burning cities.
Now, what's special about this song if you don't already know
My
it?
heart.
It's a great song. She was like 14, 15 when she wrote it.
Yeah.
And when it was posted on YouTube 4 years ago, when she was 16,
I get like chills,
it's the thing that broke her worldwide.
Yeah.
It has 300 million views.
Wow.
It's wild, and that whole album's beautiful.
And when her and her brother wrote it, their parents' reaction was, cool. They showed it to them in the house. And they were like, okay, cool.
And she grew up in a musically busy household.
Yeah.
So.
And she does go on to say, listen, she said, she's like, they've always been supportive. And actually, her brother, Phineas, said, they've always been supportive, always been present. But, when you're a kid and you're trying to take your first bite of something, he says, I don't know. It's like when you've had a meal more than twice and all of a sudden becomes your favorite meal. They're like, we've heard songs from you before.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, 100%.
Go back to your bedroom. Keep making them,
telling your parents that this song's really great, and they're going, cool. And then later it's 300 million views on YouTube. It's pretty amazing, right?
Years ago, I got my first job in Prince George, and boys, I was so excited. My first job in radio right out of college. I was losing it. Like, I cried when I got the call. And I told my mom and dad, and they were like, okay, honey. Because they didn't think I'd stick to it. Because, I'm from Nova Scotia, and, Prince George is the other, northern British Columbia,
The other side of the country.
The other side of the country. They're like, all right, we'll see. But they weren't excited. And I think that they were maybe just testing me, but they're just kind of over it. And I was like, I'll show you. I'm going to live there for a year.
At the beginning?
Yeah, they were over it before it even began. Here we go.
Wow, that's amazing. It's funny. just being in the same career path as my mom, it's sort of been it's been interesting because the first two radio stations I worked at, one in Barrie and one in Halifax, she didn't even know the names.
Oh,
like
true.
really just completely, because again, like Jax's parents, it's sort of like, prove it, man.
Exactly.
You know, like, you really want to do this, or are you just doing this because I do this? And my mom stayed out of the way. Like, we didn't work at the same company. We didn't associate with each other than, personally, because I wanted to carve my own path. And I remember her going, because my first radio station was a station called B101 in Barrie.
Oh,
which doesn't exist anymore. And then there's one called The Bounce, which is now on Virgin Radio Halifax. And so she would call them B101 The Bounce.
She just smacked them
wow,
together.
Thanks, Mom.
She's probably just trolling you, though, to get some fire under your,
I don't know. I don't think so. I think she was like, no, you gotta prove it, man.
Yeah.
It sounds like for you guys, this was like your rosebud. It was the thing that inspired you for a lot. For mine tends to happen with my parents like monthly, or anytime I do something that I consider super grown up, like I booked an appointment at an optometrist, or I took my car in for service. I always call my parents right away to like bring it up like it's not a big deal. I'll be like, oh yeah, so like, oh no, I took my car in for service. And what I want is for my dad to go, oh, awesome, good for you, TJ. And he goes, yeah. Because in his mind, he's like, you're a 28-year-old boy. You should be doing those things.
A 28-year-old man.
Boy.
Yeah.
I love that he calls him a boy.
You don't have a voice like this and call yourself a man.
One day, my darling.
So the question for you is 416-872-9999 or 999 in text, and we want to hear this.
Yeah.
The thing that you were like, oh my God, I'm going to blow my parents away.
Yeah.
I got my first
you wait.
this. I accomplished my first this. And they're like, good. Seems pretty normal to me.
Yeah.
Again, 999 to text, 416-872-9999 to call. This is 99.9 Virgin Radio.
Where they be at when they say they doing all this and all that?
This is Virgin Mornings with Adam Wylde, TJ, and Jax.
On 99.9 Virgin Radio.
You thought it was super impressive. You pulled it off, and your parents were like, okay, cool.
Neat.
Good for you.
Right on. Eat your dinner.
416-872-9999. Go ahead.
So my husband and I, we kind of like secretly planned a trip to go to Europe for a year. We organized everything, and we were going to go see like my husband's family. He's from Bulgaria. So we kind of like planned it all out. We weren't really talking much about it because we didn't want my work to find out.
Okay.
So once we had everything kind of settled, and like I told my work that I was going to be off for a year, we told my parents, and I just kind of got this like, are you sure? Like, you really want to go? And I was kind of like, we just spent months planning this. Like, we're so excited. Like, I've never met my husband's family before. Like,
sometimes you're just looking for a cheerleader, right? You're not looking for approval.
No, and that's what I mean. Like, I wasn't looking for approval, but I thought they'd be more excited. Like my mom used to travel when she was young, and she was always like really excited about it. And she told me all these stories, and I was like, oh, I get to go, and there's so many countries close by and stuff like this that we can go to. And she was just like, oh, okay, well, yeah, do you? And I was like, all right, well, that's gonna be it, I guess.
Hey, thanks for your call.
Yeah, no problem. Bye.
And TJ, we got a ton of text messages on this.
Blown away
a
by
lot of
it.
disappointing kids out there.
Oh, yeah. Alana in the 647 says, I was extremely blown away when I got a scholarship for ladies professional soccer in Portugal.
Wow.
And I told my parents, and I got you don't like flying, and it's so far away, I don't think you should do this.
Wow. In Portugal, too.
That's not so badass.
Damn, I hope you went.
Another one from the 647. When I got into law school, my mom legit responded, do you need to go?
Mom probably just didn't want to pay the bill anymore.
Yeah, no kidding.
You've already done 4 years of this. Do you have to do 3 more?
Really? Do we need to do this?
Yeah,
true.
This one from Orangeville. I'm just like TJ. When I adult, I want the world to know. So I've been having some issues eating gluten recently, and everyone's been on my case to call the doctor, and I just haven't.
Yeah.
So I did, and I got the appointment, and I called my mom excited, and she basically said, effing finally, which wasn't the excitement I was looking for.
No, but you know what? That's still something. At least you got a reaction, right? We're looking at like apathy is the thing that you're afraid of, right? It might be negative, but it's negative excited.
If you're looking for apathy, how about this last one from the 905? In 2012, when I called my dad from high school to tell him I'd been accepted to the school of my dreams for computer science,
Wow.
He said, quote, okay, good, but I gotta go. Coffee gets to the break room in 5 minutes.
I mean, coffee is good.
Keep them coming. 416-872-9999, 999 to text. It's trauma bonding what we're doing.
One drag off a cigarette. Now.
This is Virgin Mornings with Adam Wylde, TJ, and Jax.
On 99.9 Virgin Radio.
So you thought you did something impressive, but your parents were like, good.
Cool.
Cool.
Right on, yeah.
What was it? 416-872-9999. Heather, how are you?
I am well. How is the Virgin fam?
We're good.
Doing great. The thruple is thriving.
Yeah. So tell us your story.
I was extremely excited as a young 30-something to have been in a financial place to purchase my very first brand new car.
Oh, there she goes.
That's a good
Right?
feeling.
Zoom.
I mean, I had done my dues. I had paid my dues, if you will, by driving the beater cars for my fair share of time, and I finally figured it out. Got the financing, saved up for a down payment. I was pumped. I went in. I bought the car. I didn't just tell my parents. I drove my new baby down to
their
my parents'
house.
place. Right? Take her on a road trip. Show her around a little bit. Showed up with mom and dad's, beeping on the horn. I'm all excited. I'm waving out of my car window like an absolute moron. My dad, who is an extremely stoic man, comes out and he goes, "Well, that's not the same piece of poop that you've been driving the last few years, is it?"
Oh,
I'm like, "No, I bought a new car, Dad."
I can picture your dad. I know what your dad looks like.
Yeah, what beer company t-shirt was he wearing?
By this time, my mom comes outside and she goes, "Oh, Heather, how much is that going to cost?"
Coming up with What's Trending.
And this is what's trending right now.
All Go buses and some Go trains now have free Wi-Fi, which is definitely worth celebrating. According to the province, free Wi-Fi now available on all Go buses and half of Go trains across the province. The Minister of Transportation, Carolyn Murphy, said this is part of the government's commitment to improve public transit across the province. Now, let me paint you a word picture. Imagine you're still not back at work, and over the next couple weeks, you are going back, and you're a little bit stressed out about it, but then you hop on the bus, and you realize, oh, I can watch TikToks on Wi-Fi. Things aren't so scary after all, gang.
Now, producer Jesse said something earlier this morning that I think is really important as a guy who has to regularly go back and see his dad in Mississauga.
Yeah, they have the Wi-Fi available on the platforms already, and it is the worst Wi-Fi in the universe.
So what you're saying is you're not optimistic.
yeah. It's like the subway platform.
Well,
Wi-Fi
yeah,
is
like
terrible.
it's sort of you with the subway platform. It's like why do we even have this? It's terrible.
I will let you know, though, that you do not need Wi-Fi for Snake. And you can still play Snake from the old Nokia phone on your phone now.
That's great, Jax. Thank you for that.
Wonderful.
Okay.
By the way, I hated Snake. I hated it.
Well, I hate you.
So frustrated. It was like what was that?
Minesweeper. I was about to say Minesweeper.
Remember on those old computers with Minesweeper? No one understands how that game works. It's like click, click, click,
Sorry,
click.
your childhood was hard.
I got into a really weird area of TikTok the other day, and somebody was beating games of Minesweeper on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I watched the whole thing, and then I thought, number one, why did I watch this? Number two, how do you even learn this game? And I'm sure you could Google the rules, but that's not the fun.
No, exactly.
I'm sorry I turned on you. Okay.
He did. If you've ever been super frustrated about your kids' homework, don't feel bad. If it's past a grade 6 level, you're not alone. Okay. So there's a new study of 2,000 parents. And most parents said their knowledge doesn't exceed grade 6 level and can't remember past elementary.
True.
Meaning that if you know this around grade 6, that your parents just all of a sudden stopped helping you with your homework, that's the majority of parents.
Because they can't help you.
Apparently math and science seem to be the two subjects that give their parents the hardest time.
Yeah, I think it was that and like the oral presentations where you had to get the Bristol board out and they'd be like, you can cut and paste on your own now.
I'm not getting glue on my hands.
Yeah, exactly.
Billie Eilish confirms that a documentary about her life is on the way. It's going to be called Billie Eilish, The World's a Little Blurry. It's going to premiere in February on Apple TV. There's really not much known about it. She tweeted out a 30-second announcement for the film. It just looks like her as a child playing the piano. But the big deal about this is Apple and her have a $25 million deal together. So I don't think that means that they spent $25 million on a documentary.
Oh, I think there's a live concert video coming. Yeah, 100%. Whenever we're able to do that again, there's going to be a gigantic... Well, think about this. I know that COVID sucks and everybody's hating where we're at right now in terms of like having to socially distance and no concerts and we can't have fun. However, when this all comes back, it might be a year and a half, but when it all comes back, every single artist on the planet is going to be like, I'm poor again and I need to go tour.
True.
And the tours are going to be huge. And it's going to be like, imagine the first time there's a Raptors or a Leafs game with fans there. People are going to go ballistic. So we are right now in the lead up to one of the greatest party years ever. We just don't know whether it's going to be 2021 or 2022.
It's time to prepare ourselves and our bodies.
That might be the most optimistic thing I've ever heard.
It's the only thing getting me through this thing. I'm not kidding. That's how I'm looking at it.
No, I love that.
That's what's trending. I'm TJ.
Hey, we have Ghosted starting just after 8 o'clock this morning. It's that time.
This is Virgin Mornings with Adam Wylde, TJ, and Jax.
On 99.9 Virgin Radio.
So, COVID-19 has kind of thrown a wrench in everything, but people in England always have a pretty dark sense of humor, and that's why they've had to enact legislation to stop you from tagging your enemy as somebody who's a COVID contact. Meaning, you know how we have the COVID tracing app, right?
Yes.
They have one there too, and it's under the NHS banner, and the NHS is their health system. So what they've had to do is pass legislation to stop people from quarantining other people, because what'll happen is if you're named as a potential COVID contact, the government will say you got to stay home for 14 days. You can't do anything. So imagine people are just picking people off, right? They're just going,
this person didn't like my Instagram photo, so guess what? You're staying at home for 2 weeks now.
Now, I have a feeling that this is going to be fuel for someone's ex fire. I was thinking about that earlier.
Yes.
Like, people are going to get their exes going, and I love all my exes, but like, that's funny.
I think
that's funny.
I think it's really funny too, although it's kind of dangerous. But I think sometimes,
well, it can be both, right? It can be super dangerous and definitely not socially acceptable, but also like kind of funny. Like I consider myself a somewhat petty person. But that's like
somewhat.
Wow, like you should do a TED talk on how petty you are for doing that.
The thing is that it's not only is it illegal, but it's £1,000, which means it's about 2,000 Canadian dollars if you get caught pointing someone out that you're just doing to get them.
How much were the fines for people who attended parties that weren't following social distancing? Yeah,
$750 to $10,000 if you were hosting it.
Okay, so but if you attended, it was $750. So it's like double that, more than double that. For calling it a fake COVID case.
I just think that they should probably raise the fine, because like if you've been doing a little bit of saving over COVID and you want to go in on somebody, it's like that's.
I don't know anyone with extra money right now.
No, that's true. Neither do I. Yeah.
It's Virgin Radio.
Mornings
with what's trending.
And this is what's trending right now.
More new homes in the GTA sold in August than any other August ever. This according to the Building Industry and Land Development Association, or BUILD, which I thought was pretty clever. Last month, 4,539 new builds sold in the area, marking a 217% increase from August 2019, which is very impressive because that's one more than 216%.
Stop it.
With numbers 119% higher than the 10-year average. Basically what they're saying is people got really fed up living in condos, so they bought houses, because they're saying only condo units comprise of 5% of these purchases.
Right.
So homes, like houses, detached or semi-detached houses, are the big.
So either way, so it's semi or okay, got it. Interesting.
A neighbor in Florida heard hockey fans yelling "shoot" and thought it was a gun thing, so they called the cops. Turns out they were watching the Tampa Bay Lightning,
who
Leafs, won the Stanley Cup last night.
They did, with a couple of Toronto kids on there.
That's right.
Shout out Captain Steven Stamkos from Newmarket.
The boys are out.
Jack, stop it. You're just trolling today.
I know.
We're trying to celebrate local people.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to get on the hockey train, and it's hard when the Lightning are winning.
Does Jack say anything more than people who are from Toronto?
I'm going to shut her mic off.
Yeah, it's totally for the best of it. Yeah.
All right, next
story.
She's had
enough for today.
Yeah.
Reminder that Nuit Blanche kicks off this weekend, which is great news because they're going to live stream it so you can just get high at home this year instead of getting high in the streets and looking at all the art.
Anything to add, Jax?
Turn my mic on. Yeah, you guys always razz Nuit Blanche.
Oh, sorry. What happened to your mic?
Oh, wow. Crazy how that happened.
Nuit Blanche is beautiful, and it's great for...
No, Jax, keep talking.
No, Nuit Blanche is great for art and culture and celebration.
What's happening with your mic? It's crazy. It's weird. Anyway.
Why do you control the button?
October 3rd, Nuit Blanche kicks off, and there's going to be a bunch of streams happening. So there's going to be talks, podcasts, the 14-year archive called Nuit History. There's going to be live streams and artworks in augmented and virtual reality. So that's going to be a fun, sexy time for everyone. And that's what's trending. I'm TJ. This one went completely off the rails.
It did. But you know what?
And
That's
fast.
life sometimes. You could say that about the entire year of 2020.
That's right.
Are we that far off track? I mean, really?
No, if anything, yeah.
Yeah, so here's the deal. Robin has got money for you with the Virgin Radio Moneymaker. That's at 10 o'clock. Make sure you text money and your name right now for $500 instantly with the Virgin Radio Moneymaker starting in an hour.